Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another weekly auction house update. And before we begin, a quick message from our sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, a simple message. Subscribe. Oh, it's upside down. Shit. Subscribe or you like Forza wings. The choice is yours. Wait.
Well, as you can see, I am the only sponsor. But anyway, drop a gear, disappear, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in there. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived. And at number 1 on today's list, the depreciated Apollo IE. Now, as you can see here, this week, and today is Thursday, so it's a brand new season in Forza Horizon 4. And as of today, as you can see here, the Apollo IE has been made available to obtain in the Forzathon shop for 600 Forzathon points. And because of that, as of today, this thing is depreciated down to 6.608 million credits. Now, as you can see here, on the 28th of February 2021, this thing was sitting strong at a final ever highest buyout price of 10.295 million. So since then, we've seen a 4 million credit depreciation in the past 24 hours. The Apollo IE is going to depreciate down to 5 million, down to 3 million. My advice to you would be sell today for 6.608 million and try get them sold, because this thing is depreciating. But it could also be a positive, because in the future, when this thing drops down to 3 million credits, be sure to scoop up as many as you can, because this thing does hold its price well. But for the next following 3 weeks, this thing is going to be on a depreciation curve. But at number 1, the Apollo IE, and its 4 million credit depreciation at 6.6 million credits. Bringing us to number 2 on today's list, and good googly moogly have we seen appreciation in the Cornings Egg Yesco. Now, as you can see here, 3 days ago, on the 5th of April 2021, this thing was sitting at 10.275 million, and since then we've seen a 6 million credit appreciation. As of today, back up to 16.035 million. Now, do not buy any at this price. You will not be making money in a green zone. You should have invested back then when I told you to, when it was at 10.275 million. This thing will reach 20 million credits in the next following weeks, but the auction house is currently flooded with them, so we don't know where the coin is going to land. We'll have to wait until tomorrow. If it drops down to 12 million credits tomorrow, then the next day back up to 16 million, that thing is seesawing and we don't know where it's going to land. But personally, I know this car very well and I know it holds its price excellently, so I would suggest do not sell, hold and wait for this thing to bounce back to 20 million credits in the next following weeks. But at number 2, the Cornings Egg Yesco, sitting strong at a 6 million credit green zone. Now, bringing us number 3 on today's list, and flying underneath the radar, is the McLaren 720S Spider. As of today, sitting shy of 5 million credits at 4.022 million. Now, when I last detailed this car, it was sitting at 2.7 million credits, and since then, we've seen a 2 million credit appreciation. If you've got a few in your garage and you want to go get them sold today, go and sell them for 4 million credits. But personally, I'm going to hold on to mine. I want to see if it raises past 6 million in the future. Maybe, maybe not. But at number 3, the McLaren 720S Spider, sitting shy of 4.5 million credits. Now, at number 4 on today's list, and a little bit of an investment update on the Corolla SR5. Now, as you can see here, last week I detailed this thing and I was very excited for it. It raised to 938,000 credits, up from 550,000 the previous week. Now, this was on the 5th of April 2021, and as of today, we've seen a 400,000 credit increase. As of today, sitting at 1.5, well, just shy of 1.5 million credits at 1.410 million. Fantastic news for your investments, and plus the Toyota Corolla SR5 is appreciating. Do not sell, hold. But at number 5, a little bit of an investment update on the Toyota. Moving on. Now, bringing us to number 5 on today's list, my last week's predictions about the Alfa Romeo 155 were 100% correct. As you can see here, on the 5th of April 2021, I predicted this thing because it was absolutely flooded on the auction house, because it was made available to obtain on the Forzathon shop. I said, and you can see here, that it would drop to 4 to 6 million credits, then go and invest. And as of today, 3 days later, this thing has dropped to a final buyout price and a stabilized price of 6.8 to 6.554 million. Now, this thing was once a 20 million credit car. My advice to you would be, pick these up in the next following days. If they drop down to 4 million credits, buy about 5 of them. Keep them in your garage, keep them under wraps, keep them nice and warm, because this thing will appreciate in the next following months. But it comes with a side of caution. Because there's so many on the auction house, it's going to take weeks/months to appreciate. But this is much more of an investment guide. I would say a few more days. Hopefully this price drops even lower than this and drops down to 4 million credits. Then I would say go and invest and you'd be in a perfect green zone. But at number 5, an update on the Alfa Romeo 155. Moving on. Now, bringing us number 6 on today's list. Finally, fantastic news surrounding the 64 Nissan Formula Drift 370Z. Now, as you can see here, cast your mind back here, boys and girls. On the 28th of November 2020, this thing was sitting at 10.031 million. A month after this date, it got made available in a festival update, and it dropped all the way down to 1.2 million credits. And I do not have a screenshot of that, for sake. But anyway, as of today, it has finally risen back up to its original price. As of today, sitting at 10.018 million. If you've got a few in your garage, go and get them sold today for the maximum return price of 10 million credits. But at number 6, the 370 Formula Drift is finally back up where it belongs. Moving on. Now, bringing us number 7 on today's list, finally, the BMW 850 CSI is back where it belongs. Now, as you can see here, on the 14th of December 2020, this thing was sitting at 12.293 million. And then, as you can see here, on the 28th of January 2021, Forza decided to bring it back in the Forzathon shop, which inherently depreciated it down to around about 6.5 million credits. And as of today, since the 28th of January, we have finally appreciated, a very long appreciation, back up to 12.865 million, higher than its original buyout price of 12.293. Now, this thing was once a 20 million credit car. Personally, I'm going to hold, because I think this thing will raise back up to 15 million credits in the next following weeks. But if you've got a few in your garage and you've been saving them, get them sold today if you'd like. But personally, I'm going to hold. I'm going to wait for the long investment. At number 7, the BMW 850 CSI, selling for 12.8 million credits. Moving on. Now, bringing us number 8 on today's list, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT4 door coupe is appreciated heavy. As of today, sitting at 12.868 million. This thing used to be 8 million credits for the longest time ever, and as of today, it's had a 4 million credit appreciation up to 12.868 million. Now, personally, these things do not hold their price very, very well. You can either sell it today for a quick, cool 12.86 million, or risk the patience and see if it raises to 15. Personally, I've never seen this thing raise past 12 million credits. Forza will most likely bring it back and be depreciated the next following months anyway. But you never know what they're going to do. But personally, I'm going to hold. But if you'd like to sell yours today, it's currently at 12.868 million. At number 8, the GT4 door. Moving on. Now, bringing us number 9 on today's list. And god damn, what an appreciation in the Ford Supervan 3. As you can see here, on the 5th of February 2021, this thing was sitting at 2.684 million. And as of today, it's tripled in price. Just shy of 10 million credits at 8.192 million. If you've got a few in your garage, get it sold today for the maximum price of 8.192 million. Jesus. The Supervan 3 is going to the moon. Moving on. Now, at number 10 on today's list on this channel, we are all about patience and longevity when it comes to investments. And this is what I mean by this. As you can see here, on the 28th of November 2020, the Colorado ZR2 was sitting at 4.446 million. And back then, we weren't sure whether it's going to appreciate or depreciate. And guess what? Nearly a year a year later, this thing has doubled in price as of today, sitting at 10.772 million. If you want to get it sold, but personally, I'm in for the long run. I want to see if this thing raises to 12 to 15 million credits in the future. At number 10, the Chevy Colorado ZR2 has finally appreciated. Moving on. Now, last and certainly not least, I've got a little bit of a bonus clip for you all. We're going to discuss the current state of the Mustangs in the game and why they haven't raised to 15 million credits yet. Now, let's start with the Mustang Shelby GT500. As of today, this thing's currently sitting at 12.261 million, and every 24 hours it's going back down to 10 million, back up to 12. Do not worry, this thing is just seesawing, don't panic. It will raise in the future. It's just stuck in the mud because of the current flood on the marketplace. Now, I'm not going to put any cuts in this video. We're just going to talk about the current state. Don't panic about them just yet. They're not going to depreciate. It's just seesawing. Today, it's back up to 12.261. Yesterday, it was 10 million. Tomorrow, it'll be 12. It just has to raise. Just give it time, give it patience, and it will raise. Now, let's discuss... Now, for reference, let's talk about the Chevrolet C8. Now, yesterday, this thing was depreciated down to 12.2 million credits, and as of today, it's back up to 15.328. We need this thing to stabilise, to be flatlined at 15 million, and then hopefully it will raise to 20 million credits in the next following weeks. But this thing, this trend with the muscle cars, this was the first muscle car to be made available to us, if you remember. Because it was the first one, it's been out the longest, and because of that, it's now at 15 million. The other muscle cars will follow suit in time. Now, last but not least, we've got the Shelby. Where's it gone? Shelby 1000, that's it. Okay, Shelby 1000, as of today, I think it's 10 million. 10.018 million, so it's in a line of order. Number 1 was the C8, that's at 15 million. Number 2 was the Ford Shelby GT500, that's at 12.218. Do you see the pattern here? Number 3, last but not least, was this, the Shelby 1000. They're just slow appreciating cars. It's still at a very high price. It's just taking a while for them to appreciate. Now, let's talk about the, last but not least, a very concerning interest of mine is the... Where's it gone? Where's P? A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, there it is, P. The Peugeot 207 Super 2000. As of today, we're at 12.238. Do you see the pattern here? These cars all came out in the same time. So you've got the C8, the GT500, the Shelby 1000, and you've got this, the Peugeot Super 2000. They're just slow appreciating cars. This thing will be 15 million credits in the next following weeks, as will all the others. And the C8 should be 20 million credits in the next following weeks. Strong, stabilised cars with holding their prices very well. What's the Rally E sitting at, by the way? Let's have a little look. 6.349, that's up from 4 million credits. I didn't add that in, but if you've got one of them, go get it sold. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I just thought I'd add a little ending about the current state of the current muscle cars because they're a key interest to a lot of people. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like because I want to be cruising around in Lamborghini Aventador and I can't do that unless you like my video. Anyway, brothers and sisters, drop a gear, disappear, keep your bank account fat, and I will see you tomorrow in another daily upload. Peace and love, baby. Yeah, yeah.